Yo, what up? I'm the Godless Engineer. And guess what? Ray Comfort thinks that either his followers are dumbasses or he's a little socially slow. Apparently, he doesn't know how to sit next to a gay person on a plane. Let me give you a hint, Ray. Okay, what you do is you sit down, you find out that they're gay, and then you just pass it off like they said that they were straight. Because it doesn't fucking matter, Ray.
We kept getting people say, do a movie on homosexuality, and I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen. This is about 2 years ago. I said, the reason it's not going to happen is, number one, anybody who says anything about homosexuality nowadays is vilified on a par with somebody who's a racist.
Mm-hmm. Hold up. You can have whatever opinion you want to. You can think that it's wrong. And the only time when you get the reaction like you're describing here is when you're forcing your beliefs onto others, either through the government or face-to-face and in person. I mean, that's that's what that anger is over. That's what you're describing, okay, is when we react to people like you being total dickbags.
Let alone make a movie about it. I didn't want that. And the second reason I didn't want to do it is because how do you make a movie about homosexuality and make it interesting? All you can really think of is a documentary with so-called experts and ex-homosexuals who are now Christians, married with 3 kids, and it's stereotypical, and who's going to watch that but the choir? And so I had some incidents happen in my life that changed my mind radically. One of them was I was flying from Germany to London, sat next to a middle-aged gentleman. I said, how you doing? He says, good. I said, you got a family? He says, I have a husband. And it was like, oh, where do I go from here? Do I say, oh, that's nice, tell me about him, or what? And it was awkward. And, you know.
Okay. So, let me get this straight, Ray. Some guy on a plane says, yeah, I have a husband back home. And you are confused as to how to react? I don't understand this. I mean, I really don't, because I don't have a bigoted mind. You obviously do, so that would kind of confuse you. Like, oh shit, do I just go, listen, you're gonna burn in hell? You better turn to Jesus now, find that love of God before you start to burn forever. You're on a highway and airway to hell, mister. Well, of course you do that, Ray. I mean, you're a Christian, right? You're a fundy. You gotta tell him that he's going to hell because that means you love him. Well, at least that's how your ilk would do. I mean, it really amazes me how people can sit there and, like, just be totally confounded, like, oh shit, they're homosexual. An arbitrary point about their life that has no effect on me whatsoever is causing me to not really know how to talk. Come on. I mean, I really don't understand that about the bigoted brain, bigoted mind. I don't see how you can be uncomfortable next to somebody that chooses different life choices than you. I mean, that just seems so socially slow that I feel like a snail's pace would be giving you too much credit. If you really want to know what you need to do when you sit next to a gay person, how about this? If you're bigoted, just imagine you're with a straight person for a bit. And that's how you would act. If you're a normal fucking person, you're gonna already know to just carry on conversation like it doesn't fucking matter, because guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. So to start with some gaming news, Nuka-Cola Quantum is going to be a beverage that you can buy. You can go to Target on November 10th, and that's when they're going to start selling them. It's done by Jones Cola, who are a kind of like a custom cola drink, manufacturer. But they did this. It's supposed to be some kind of berry flavor. So I know I'm a diabetic. It's not going to come in a diet version, but we do want to get some. One, so that I can at least try it. And then two, we of course have to put it in our collection of shit. Some more atheist-y, related-y kind of stuff is this right here. If you're not familiar with this right here is, this is one draft of a King James Version Bible as it was being like constructed. So the King James Version of the Bible, when this was written, was not in existence, because this is a draft of that very Bible. And what they found out was that certain translators and whatnot, scholars, were given sections of the Bible in which to translate and put into book form. And so instead of working in like huge teams or whatnot to construct the King James Version of the Bible, it actually turns out that it was individual people. So the way that this is written and constructed is giving us a lot of insight into how the Bible has been constructed over time, especially the King James Version, of course. So there's that. Okay, so get this, right? Ken Ham is mad about this book, The Grandmother Fish. And apparently it's a book that's supposed to teach basic concepts of evolution to kids. And apparently this is indoctrination, and it's wrong, and it just needs to stop. We need to stifle free speech. In my favor, really, because I don't really care about it if I'm doing indoctrinating. Actually, you know what? I would rather you indoctrinate people with my beliefs rather than those beliefs over there, from my point of view, because I'm wrong about that. As Ken Ham, I think that evolution is a belief system and a religion and shit. I don't know how I got there. I did some fantastical Superman gymnastics in order to get in that direction, but, that's where I went. But that was basically Ken Ham in a nutshell in this situation. I find it rather perplexing, yet again, how somebody can suffer from that much cognitive bias that it causes them to be completely blind to their own internal hypocrisy.
If you guys are unaware, there is this whole thing going around about how a teacher was making some students say that God is a myth. Well, apparently it's not technically a myth is what the teacher had on the assignment. Commonplace assertion is what was actually on the assignment. And but for some reason the people read it as myth, which, given the persecution complex of Christians in general, I see how they got there. I do. But basically, it's like you say commonplace assertion, it's either that, and then they come back with, "Stop making me compromise my faith. Jesus is real and so is hell, so you best dress for high heat." Okay, and now there's a user on Instagram, if you want to go and follow him or whatnot, Average Atheist. He posted up this picture from some kind of study guide for religious shit, but it starts out with read Genesis 2:4-25. Anything that starts with first, let's start in Genesis, it's going to be full of bullshit and it's not going to end well. But apparently this is talking about gender roles and how God has laid out the gender roles. And it's so misogynistic. I mean, look at this list. Man and woman complement one another. Okay? Starting off fine with this first one. Man was created to be the head. I've known some women that do a lot better than men being at the helm of the family. So, you're getting a little off the beaten path there. Woman was created to be the helper. Fuck, let's just turn this shit into overdrive, why don't we? We went from man's supposed to be the head of the house, but now women, you're just the helper. That escalated quickly. And then next, man was created to exercise loving authority over a woman. I've never really heard of loving and authority be put in the same sentence. Normally, if you love someone, it's more like a partnership, There's not really an authoritarian thing about it. At least that's not my experience. But for some reason, they want it to be that way. So, and that's biblical. And then finally, woman was created to extend glad submission to man. Hey, that doesn't sound like submission over there, woman.
Try it.
All right, now, next we have is Joshua Feuerstein. He is mad over this prayer thing that was going down. What's come up on it. Okay, look, in case you don't know, there was a coach that was continuously praying before and after games, and he would include all the students and whatnot. So he was acting in an official capacity, being paid by public monies and whatnot. And so he was praying on the field in front of everybody and whatnot. And you can't do that. You're effectively a teacher. You're leading the students, and you're leading them in prayer. That's not kosher. So basically, he's in this big legal battle, and he's going to go and sue the city, and then the city's like, you're put on paid leave. Nah, paid leave, I can see them putting him on paid leave for this, because it just seems like a really big controversy or whatnot. But Joshua Feuerstein here, he's pretty upset. And I think you know the route that he's going to go with it. But I'm going to let him speak first, and then we'll see what happens.
Hey guys, what's up? Josh Feuerstein here. Look, I'm going to tell you why Christians should not only be mad as hell, but be mad at hell. Do you guys realize that this week, in fact, just today, that Coach Kennedy was kicked off of his high school football team? Why? Because he prayed after the game. Seriously, guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. You can see that the beginning of the culture and the tide is turning against Christianity in this country, and I've been telling you all along, it's the beginning of what I call the Christian Holocaust. You better get ready for persecution, because now it's just blatant. I think I've got a problem. I've got a problem not only with Bremerton High School, which I'm going to encourage you to call and ring their phones off the hook until they bring Coach Kennedy back, but I got a problem when it seems like even the LGBT community has more courage than Christians do. One of ours is being attacked, and it's time that we stand up and we speak out. It's time that we get the word out. It's time that we make some noise. It's time that we be loud and proud about being Christians and say we're not backing down. So I'm going to ask you to do one of two things. I'm going to ask you not only to share this video to help us get the word out and to begin to unite Christians in solidarity all across this country to make a stand, but it's time that we call Bremerton School District. In fact, their phone number is 360-473-0800. That's 360-473-0800. I want you to blow up their inbox, and I want you to let them know this is not okay. It's time that we take a stand right now. So please share the video, help get the word out, and of course call that number, and let's let them know exactly what we think about them kicking Coach Kennedy out. No, Coach Kennedy, we stand with you. We will be silent no more.
Okay, I really, I get that Josh is upset over this. I really do. But there's nothing to be upset about. I mean, he violated the Constitution. I don't see the problem here. I mean, you would think that Josh would be in full support of the First Amendment, considering it prevents any government entity from telling him how to worship, what to worship, when to worship, and all this other stuff. You'd figure that he would love that, but no, fuck that. We're going to be pissed, and we're going to push this persecution complex whenever something like this comes up. He was put on administrative leave for merely praying after football game. No, it's that he prayed after a football game, but he prayed on the center of the field, and then he had all the students come out there with him. Now, he does specify that it's the students are coming out there of their own free will, but you can't do that on public grounds, while he's on the clock and all this other stuff. I mean, directly after the game, he's still working after the game. I mean, he's still being paid by the school, so that's where the violation comes in there, Josh. Also, another thing is that you act like it's some kind of big pronouncement to say, I'm a Christian. I mean, I really don't think that there are kids out there right now that are looking at their parents like, Mom, Dad, I'm a Christian. And then their parents would just look at them like, "We take you to church, motherfucker." I mean, seriously. Yep, exactly. Here's your baby. We give you your first baby to eat, and then now you're out. Kick your ass out. But basically, Josh here is just trying to get exposure. He's trying to get people to share his shit because that's all he cares about. He doesn't actually care about the coach. He doesn't actually care about the people that subscribe to his page. All that he fucking cares about is getting you to push that share so that other people will click his shit so that he can sell more ads and all this other shit. I mean, that's all this guy is about. Listen, people can pray at school if they want to, but yeah, that's what I was going to say. Students can pray. If you're working for the school, you can't lead it. You can't participate in any kind of way about it. I don't see what's so fucking hard about that. It shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't.